Greetings, brothers and sisters. This is Conjure Mama, and welcome to my studio. I wanted to talk to y'all today a little bit about the term crossing. It seems not a lot of people are familiar with the term crossing, so I would like to give a clarification. To start out with, I just want to say that everything I am about to say is based on my own opinions, experiences, and interactions with other practitioners. I cannot and I will not quote sources because some of this stuff I learned 20 or 30 years ago, and hey, if it resonates as truth with me, I am going to hang on to it. So let's talk in general terms real quick, just so we can establish where my terminology is coming from. Most of us are familiar with the terms hexes, curses, and jinxes, okay? To me, a curse is something that is done over time. If you're a gamer of any capacity, think of a damage over time, like your mages who are in the back throwing the fireballs and stuff, okay? A curse can, but does not always result in death. A good example of a curse is generational curses, okay? A hex tends to be something that is a little bit more instant. Okay. Now, I have heard other practitioners speculate that the only way to tell the difference between a curse and a hex is what you utilize to deliver it. A curse can be utilized by using a supernatural force, like a deity of some type or a demon. Okay. And a hex tends to be things that you use physically in your own home, like a puppet or a candle. Okay. Now, there's also jinxes. A jinx is basically a change to someone's luck, generally for the worse, okay? And a crossing is a run of bad luck that tends to be self-inflicted. Now, in my experience, I find that most people who feel like they have been cursed or hexed are actually not. They have just crossed themselves up, okay? And it is so easy to cross yourself up. It is just ridiculous. Most people do not realize the power of thought, okay? When you fixate on negative thoughts and emotions, you can manifest negative things into your life. And it can come in any variety of ways, everything from you're suddenly not getting along with all of your friends, or you're suddenly fighting a lot with your husband, or, it can even continue on and snowball into money problems, car problems, housing problems, okay? We practice the law of attraction when we are casting magic, okay? We set our intention and then we manifest it, okay? When you're fixating on your negative things, you're doing the exact same thing. The fixation on the negative thoughts and emotions is setting that intention, and the constant giving into it is manifesting it, okay? So from my experience, that is what a crossing is, okay? Now, it's easy to plant that seed in other people, especially non-practitioners. A lot of people, whether they realize it or not, are superstitious against witches and witchcraft, okay? And it is so easy to plant that seed and just watch it germinate, and they end up crossing themselves all up. I know a witch who had a bad relationship with her neighbor, okay? And she wanted that person gone. I'm not going to talk about her business, but it was not a good, healthy relationship between these two families, okay? And she didn't believe in cursing or hexing or using any other magical means to remove the person. But she decided to do a public curse, okay? And public just means in this instance, that you're just letting the person know that you're going to be moving against them. So like if somebody sends you an email or a text message that says, I'm going to start working against you tonight, that's a public curse or a public hex, because they're telling you. My experience, most of these people, there is nothing behind it. They are trying to cross you up, like my friend did with her neighbor. So what she did is she went to the thrift store and she found the ugliest, cheapest, most handmade looking baby doll that she could find. She went over in the middle of the night and she nailed it to a tree in a prominent location in this person's yard, where when they would come out of their house, that was the first thing they saw. Okay. She did not really invest any kind of money into it. She didn't put any energy into it. She didn't like stuff the doll with herbs or bathe it in oils or anything of that sort. The next day when the lady found it, she kind of freaked out. She's superstitious against witches. People don't realize it. She actually called the town cop, who came out and was kind of annoyed at the whole situation, and she was afraid to touch it from the tree, so he's the one who ended up removing it and throwing it in her trash can. Now, it doesn't matter that she didn't put anything into that doll. She planted the seed, and over the next week, the woman began having problems with the people at work. And then she began having problems, communicating within her own family. And that's snowballed down into problems with money and problems with her landlord. And eventually, I think it was like 3 months, she ended up getting kicked out of her house. Okay. It's been my experience that when people send you a public notice that they are going to do some kind of workings against you, most of the time they are not. And I would not even be afraid if they did try to do something, because, they just tipped their hand to you. They told you that they're going to be moving against you. So now you can raise your wards. You can get your familiar out. You can do whatever you need to do to up your protection and up your reversals to the person. Okay. But even if they do send something to you, 9 times out of 10, it's not going to be anywhere near as powerful as if they had moved in silence, Most of the people that are out there have no clue that they can even harness the link that they form between you and another person on the internet. Like every time we communicate with somebody and we're chatting back and forth in personal message, or we're chatting back and forth on a Facebook group or Instagram or Twitter or whatever, you are forging personal connections. And the majority of people don't even realize that it's a thing, or that they can harness that link. So I wouldn't be too worried about it. When I've been told many times that somebody was going to curse me or somebody was going to hex me, I pay it no mind. Enough to up my own protections a little bit, reinforce my stuff, but that's it, So that's what a crossing is in my experience. Basically, it's planting the idea that something bad is going to happen and allowing that idea to germinate in someone's mind so that they begin causing their own string of bad luck. So, but that's all I got to say about that. So hope y'all have a blessed day.